What's up, guys? This is an additional video today, and a couple things I wanted to cover. We had a question in the Discord about the time frame. So, man, when you get a chance, can you go over the medium to high time frames on others that are flashing sell nows, but low time frames that are flashing buy nows? And that can be confusing. I totally understand, but there's a method behind the madness of that. So we're going to go into that question and how that and what that pertains to when it comes to the Stargate signals. Also, I wanted to give an update about the Stargate Fib Forecaster, something that I added to it that's going to be extremely helpful in understanding if we're flipping bullish or bearish, utilizing the Fib Forecaster, along with I wanted to mention it's July 10th. Folks, we're heading into a couple days away. The Victory Day, July 13th, 2023, almost a year later. And we got to go over XRP specifically because we could be on the verge of another big move a year later, because we saw this time last year, the case wrapped up. We saw XRP spike crazy in one day. Same with XLM. So we'll also take a look specifically at XRP and look at kind of some different point of views on it to see if we could be on the verge of a massive move here. So let's first start off with the Fib Forecaster and what I had updated to it. And if you're a Stargate VIP, what you can do and how you can apply it. So what we got here is Stargate Fib Forecaster member new. I'll be sending this update out to everybody who currently has the Fib Forecaster. And basically what I added is if you go to the settings and you go all the way down here, you can see that we have two new alerts. So there's a lot of alerts here. You can have entry alerts, major Fib alerts only, medium Fib alerts, minor Fib alerts, zone alerts, the overlap zones like the shaded zone right here, along with now enable bullish Fib alerts to notify when a macro, medium, or micro Fib switches to bullish or bearish. And let me explain that. And you can set this up to send you a text message to your phone when this happens. And you can set it up for a day trade time frame, swing trade, or long-term time frame, which is going to be massive. It's a different perspective because what you want to know is that when you have the extension levels pointing to the downside, let's just look at the micro Fib here. So we have the 786 here and we broke that. So we have the 1618 extension below the price, 2618, 3618, 4236. So when you see the Fib extensions are lower than the actual price, then that means that the Fibs flipped bearish. So you can then say on a micro time level, micro time frame, we're in a downtrend. And then looking at the yellow Fib, we have the 786 here, and those extensions are pointing down, right? So you have the medium Fib pointing down as well too. So the micro Fib is bearish, it flipped bearish. And then you have the medium Fib flipped bearish, but you actually have the macro Fib flipped bullish because the Fib extensions are above the current price. So you have micro bearish, medium bearish, and macro bullish. And that's very important to know, especially in real time. And these Fibs change in real time. So you can know when to flip your bias from bullish to bearish and on what time scale, on a micro level, on a medium level, or on a macro level, and for the certain type of trade type, if you're day trading or swing trading or long-term trading. Very, very useful. So like, for example, let's rewind the clocks back just a little bit earlier today. So this was, I think this was Monday. So 2 days ago, and the Fib will load up and so you can see here that, see how the yellow, the medium Fib is pointing to the upside. So in the medium time frames, we were bullish, but on the micro and the macro, we had the Fibs pointing down, so we were bearish. And now you will be able to see in real time it change, and you'll get alert being notified when that happens. So Bitcoin is at 56,000 right here. So right at that point, bang, you saw it. We had the micro Fib flip bullish. So now we have the micro Fib and medium Fib flipping bullish. So now we have 2 against 1 for bullish versus the macro bearish. And then let's take a look here. Bitcoin's at 57,000. It's trying to figure out what it wants to do. Then we had the micro fib flip bearish again, then bullish, and then bang right there. So now you see all the fib extensions are pointing to the upside when Bitcoin's at 58,000 or 59,000. So now we have a fully bullish bias in a shorter term time frame. You saw the micro flip bearish, and that's where we're at now. So we have the macro and the medium pointing up. You have the micro pointing down. So until we see maybe the medium point bearish, then we start to get concerned. But for now, the micro is one that you take with the least it will change a lot, the micro. The medium, it'll change a little bit or maybe a little more than the micro. So you take that pretty seriously. But the macro one is where things really start to change. If you see this, so before the macro was pointing down, now it's pointing up. So we can have a bias of bullish for the time being until that switches. So that's the change that was made. If you just want alerts for bullish or bearish flips of the fibs, you can click those and set an alert. Or if you want for major fib alerts, when it hits the 786 or certain levels extensions, you can enable all of it if it hits certain zones. Like right here, you have the shaded zone. So when you have fibs overlapping on each other, very useful as far as the fib forecaster goes. And you can use this for any time frame or type of trade, day trade, swing trade, long-term trade. So that's that. So let's now go into the question in the Discord with the signals. All right. For example, we have, okay, this is perfect. So right here, right, back in 2021, we had a 3-week, very high time frame sell now signal. But you would think that it would have been wrong because price started to go up right after. But ultimately, we rolled over and then we saw the big bear market come in. Then we saw a buy now come in after we already kind of went up, but then we went down and kind of sideways. But then ultimately, you would have thought, hey, well, it told me to buy now, but price has been stagnant or went down. But then ultimately, the signal shows itself later on. When you're talking and looking at high time frame signals, basically by the time when the sell now or the buy now comes in on the lower time frames, we're so oversold that we likely need to bounce first. So as you can see, we had that 3-week sell now signal flash over here in the last bull market, but then we had some medium time frames flashing a buy now, 3-day flashing a buy now right here. So that's why for higher time frames, it's telling you the bigger picture trend and what's going to play out maybe in 6 months or a year from now. It's saying that the overall direction of the trend is turning in a big way, and you don't want to fade that. You don't want to fade that. But that doesn't mean that the micro and medium time frames are so oversold that we at least see a bounce first. Because on a lower time frame, you could see, like, let's say, so we have the 3-week buy now right here, right, in March of 2023. But on a lower time frame, if we go to a daily chart, we could probably see that, hey, we're a little bit overextended in the sense that, hey, we already started to go up a lot. We need to cool off. So even in the higher time frame, the bigger picture, we're just now gearing up with momentum. That stems from the lower and medium time frames getting very overheated to turn the bigger trend around. So that's why you'll see lower time frames or medium time frames flashing a sell now, because it took a lot for them to go up and change the bigger picture trend. So like if you go to a 3-week chart again, like when you're going down for so long, it takes a lot on those small and medium time frames to change that trend around in the bigger picture. And once we do, the smaller and medium time frames are so overextended that we need to cool off and come back down. But that doesn't change that the fact that we turned a big corner in the bigger trend. So usually when you see a 3-week buy now or sell now signal, you could at least say in the short term or medium term, we're at least going to see the opposite side of that play out. But you never want to disregard that signal in the bigger picture, because ultimately it's going to show itself. Just like with Ethereum, If we go to that the other day, so Ethereum, right? We flashed a sell now here, April 30th, but then we bounced up. But then ultimately we came right back down to where we're at before. And it remains to be unseen if we're going to roll over or not still. Keep in mind, what I like to do with the signals is I look to the past to see what happened before to be able to gauge what could happen now and into the future. So looking at the last bull market, we had on the 10-day chart a sell now, and then ultimately the third one hit the top. The previous one before that, a sell now, then a sell now, and then that was a top. So I would wait until another 10-day sell now comes in on Ethereum before saying, all right, that's the ultimate top. Or you could go to an even higher time frame, maybe a 3-week chart or a 2-week chart to be able to gauge, off of one signal. Right now we have it currently a 2-week sell now. They called the top back in 2018. We saw it flash twice back in 2021. We saw one buy now in 2023, a couple buy nows in 2020. So you want to look to the past, be able to gauge the present and the future, but also as well too, even if we're flashing a sell now, that doesn't mean that we can't bounce since the lower and medium time frames are so oversold, we at least see a bounce and then roll over like that, because all these time frames play into each other. And you need to understand the flip book concept of, on the smaller time frames, what happens there plays into the medium, which plays into the macro. And if you're a Stargate VIP, you're going to want to go to the Stargate Indicators course. I included the link in the market updates channel here. You want to rewatch this video, time frame analysis, macro, medium, and micro, in the Stargate Indicator Signals course under how the Stargate Indicator works. It literally breaks it all down for you to understand it to a T and go through it a couple times. The more that you understand even just this concept, the more that you're going to be set up for looking at charts even without the indicator, the Stargate signals. Understanding the macro, medium, and micro and how they all play into each other and they're all very important to each other is so critical to looking at charts. It's, if there's one thing to understand deeply, it's that. So go through the summary, the key points, watch the video, watch it over a couple times, leave questions in the market updates channel pertaining to it if you have any. And that's that. So now let's go into XRP. Let's take a look at a couple things. So on the daily chart, so XRP came close to the first fire sale target it was around like 36, 37 cents. We came to 38 cents. We saw a nice bounce from that point. Since then, what we really need to see is XRP need to get back above 48 cents, 50 cents to be able to see us reclaim the key market structure again for us to see a massive move. What I do see is we have a 3-day prepare to buy soon, a 4-day prepare to buy soon. No, we don't have a 4-day actually. Let's see. Nope, not a 5-day. Let's go to the 6-day. No 6-day. Let's go to the 8-day. We have an 8-day prepare to buy soon. And the last time we seen that was June of 2022 at the bear market bottom. Like I said as well in that video covering XRP, we actually did hit this sloping trend line support and we're seeing a nice bounce so far. But it's going to be very key for XRP to reclaim 48 to 50 cents, ideally back above 55 cents, because if we get back above 55 cents, it's likely we're going to move up quick to retest the high 60s. And at that point, could be game on. But let's look at the 10-day chart. We actually have a 10-day prepare to buy soon. That's massive. Same thing happened here in June of 2022. And actually, the same signal flashed right before we 80x in 80 days back in March of 2017. I'm going to hide everything besides it. Look at that, folks. This is massive. Massive. Right there. And then it was only a matter of 30 days later and bang, we went up like that. This only in the past 10 years has flashed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. This is the 5th time we see a 10-day prepare to buy soon, looking very eerily similar. The fractal and everything like that as well too. Us coming back down like that. Yeah, it could be time, folks. It could be time, but it's really going to be dependent on the overall market unless there's a catalyst XRP specific that just shoots this thing up. And we're a year later, July, we might fly. So this is big. I might have to do a separate video just on this, but that's going to be it, guys. Good times look like they're going to be here pretty soon. It's always darkest before the sun comes out, right? And it's looking like we could be 30 days away here. Massive. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the Discord.